Hola amigos, Sean, brand ambassador with Spanish 55. And before we start this video, I have to tell you, I was going to lie to you. Te iba a mentir. Te iba a decir una mentira. I was going to tell you a lie. Hace unos años en este canal, a few years ago on this channel, I did a video about the best apps to learn Spanish. Los mejores apps para aprender español. You can check the link below if you want to see that video. Now, we decided that it was a good time for us to do a follow-up video on it. People really liked it, and ultimately everybody wants a nice, easy app to learn Spanish, right? And I was reviewing all of these new apps, like 10 or even more of these new Spanish learning apps that have come out with another one of our language teachers here at Spanish 55. And I was going through all of them, and I really thought that we were just going to have a whole bunch of new ones to recommend, like 10 different new apps and everything to recommend to you. And to be honest, I was going to lie. I was going to tell you that these new apps are just way better than the ones that we recommended in the last video. But that's not exactly the case. No te puedo mentir. I can't lie to you. In this video, I am going to talk to you about what I think the 5 best apps are for you to learn Spanish, plus a little bonus at the end. 2 of them were already included in the previous video I did a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? I can't just lie to you and say, oh no, wash out all those other ones that we already talked about. They're no good anymore, because that would be a lie. And I'm not gonna lie. Because when I went through all of these new apps that are out there, I thought I was gonna find a lot of innovative, new, fun stuff. But the reality is a lot of them just suck. They just suck. They're no fun. They have no structure, and they don't teach you how to do what I consider to be the most important thing. Essentially, there's 2 aspects, dos aspectos, of the most important thing to look for in a language learning app. The most important thing is that you practice your Spanish in an active way, so the 2 things that are needed in any good app are, number 1, you need to be able to see the words in written format, okay? You need to see the words in written format. And number 2, you need to hear and emulate the pronunciation of new words and phrases. You need to be escuchando palabras nuevas en español, frases nuevas en español. You need to be listening to new words and phrases in Spanish. And then you need to be practicing them in a correct context, okay? Any app that's just gonna have you look at words written down on a page, it's like a glossary of terms or flashcards. That's not any good. That's no better than getting like a dictionary, like an English to Spanish dictionary. You need to learn how native speakers use these words in a context, and then you need to practice using them in a context. So I was gonna lie to you. Te iba a mentir. I was going to tell you a lie and tell you that all these new apps are better than all the old ones that we previously mentioned, but I can't do that because we don't want to waste time. We don't have any more time to waste. I've already got some more canitas. Okay, those are little gray hairs you got up here. It's been a few years. I'm not wasting time. I don't want you to be wasting time either, okay? So I'm going to tell you what the 5 best Spanish language learning apps are hoy mismo, today, okay? And I've got a bonus for you at the end. So if you stick around to the end, I'll show you what that means. And like I said, 2 of them you already saw in the previous video. But here we go. In order, starting with number 5 all the way to numero 1. Coming in at number 5, this one was already on the previous list, okay? It is Memrise, okay? It's spelled Memrise. Memrise is a pretty good app overall, okay? It's fairly interactive. It has a fairly good layout. It does a good job of doing what I talked about, where you see words in written form and also hear them pronounced by a native speaker. You can practice pronouncing them. It has everything. It's not the greatest in my opinion, but it has everything you need. You won't go wrong with Memrise. It also has a pretty good amount of overall material, which is also important because some of these apps just will get you to say 20 words to get started and they don't have any more material after that, right? So Memrise, it's a pretty good app overall. If you were gonna just pick one app, Memrise could get you there from beginner to a fairly advanced level. Number 4, numero 4, we're going to take a hard left turn here, okay? Numero 4 is HelloTalk. HelloTalk is basically a social media app. I don't even really consider it a language learning app in the same way, like Memrise is. It's essentially a platform where you can go on there and interact with other people who are learning languages. Now, in the case you might be interacting with native Spanish speakers who are learning English or vice versa, whatever, right? Beforehand, I would have never recommended something like this in the list of the top 5 apps because it's just not my style. I like something that I can just do on my own, 10 minutes a day, take me through it, tell me what I need to do, blah, 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 let's move fast, right? But I've learned that, surprise, not everybody in the world is like me. So for those of you who really like to learn in a social way, which actually is great because let's be honest, language is a social thing anyway. For those of you who always feel like you need some social interaction learning your languages, well, then HelloTalk could be the one for you. Now, of course, I do have to just throw this in here. Shameless plug. The best way, like if you really want to get the most out of interactions, you should just sign up for a Spanish 55 tutor. So click the link down below. But I just had to throw that in there. But back to HelloTalk. Like I said, this is like a social media app that's designed specifically for language learners. So go on there and check it out. By the way, you should be using the free version of all of these apps. Most of them, they're going to have ads and stuff. They're going to have the upgrade to the paid version. You really don't need it, honestly. So go check out HelloTalk. See how you like it. Think of it as kind of like a virtual language exchange, like the app version of a language exchange. Because language exchanges, even for people like me who prefer studying by ourselves, are a great way to learn. Numero tres is Glossika. 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 Did I get that right? This one is also pretty good. I mean, it's similar enough to memorize in the sense that it has like all of the necessary features. I actually kind of like the layout a little bit better, which is why I recommended it. And once again, it does a good job of the two things I talked about, of showing you words in written form and also having a native speaker pronounce them and use them in a correct context. So really, it does everything you need. Maybe the one knock on it is that it's maybe, and this was actually not even my opinion. This is the opinion of the other Spanish 55 teacher who looked things through. It might not be the best for like total beginners. But I thought it was doable. I thought with any of these I'm recommending, you could go from like, A to Z, or from 0 to 100 or whatever we call it. You could use it if you're a beginner. Anyway, numero dos. And this was a very close second. This could have been ranked number one, okay? Speakly. 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 Speakly, from what I've seen, does a very good job of customizing things to your specific needs, to your specific level, to what are you looking to learn the language for, whether it's business, whether it's pleasure, whether it's school, whatever. And it also does a very good job of those things that I previously mentioned, showing you the words in written form and also working on your pronunciation, how are words pronounced. It's got everything. It's very, very similar to the app that I've ranked number one. It was just like a little bit clunkier, in my opinion, if I might use that word. Alguien, por favor, tradúceme clunkier in español. How the heck do we say clunkier in Spanish? I don't know. It has very useful language in general. My colleague that reviewed it as well actually thought that it was better than the one we ranked number one, but I make the final decisions here. And so that's why, drum roll please, number one is Duolingo. Duolingo is still the GOAT. It's the greatest of all time in terms of language learning apps. The biggest thing is it's fun, it's a game, and language learning needs to be fun. You need to have fun. You need to have a fun environment, whether you're in a classroom, whether you're in actual immersion in another country, or whether you're on an app. You need to have fun when you're learning a language. It's great for beginners. It shows you words in written form. It makes you practice your pronunciation. Like, it makes you pronounce words the right way to pass on to the next level. And it just makes you keep coming back. It gives you like daily reminders and like daily challenges. Oh, don't drop your streak. You've done, 10 days in a row. To sum things up, es un muy buen app. It's a really good. But there's more. The bonus. What's the best thing possible? And no, I'm not going to be like, well, you should sign up with Spanish 55. Well, because that is technically the best thing possible. No, but the best thing possible, the best, even better than the number one app, better than Duolingo, would be to do a combination of Duolingo and HelloTalk. Why? Well, because like I said, Duolingo is going to be the best app for you to be disciplined and do a disciplined self-study, because it's going to keep you engaged. It's going to keep you moving forward day by day. It's going to have a structure for you. You're going to improve your vocabulary and your pronunciation on your own. You combine that then with HelloTalk, which is kind of the interactive, more social media platform type app. And now you've got like a great 1-2 punch. And I'm not supposed to do like boxing moves in this video, so I'm not going to do that. Now, remember, whichever app you use, sea lo que sea la app que uses, daily discipline is going to be the most important thing. So we want to find an app that looks good to you, that's easy to use, that doesn't bombard you with a million ads. The ones on this list shouldn't. And it's also oftentimes not even that much about which app or which language learning resource you use, but instead about how you use it. And like I said, you need to be learning new words and new phrases in an actual context that makes sense. You need to be practicing them out loud and using complete sentences, because just looking at new vocabulary words on a flashcard or in a book doesn't really do us that much good. It takes like 10 times as long to actually learn them that way. And I really think that's pretty much it. Chicos, eso es todo. That's it for today. check out those apps. Espero que este video te haya gustado. I hope that you like this video. I hope it's super useful for you. Remember, just keep learning. Whatever stage you're at in your Spanish language learning journey, whether you're a beginner, you're stuck in the middle somewhere, just keep doing it little by little, poquito a poco, you're going to get there. I hope these apps help you along the way. All right. Hasta pronto.